The best things that I saw at Georgia's spring game, right here, Ryan Curley from Dawg Post. I'm sorry that you couldn't watch it on TV. I know a lot of people are posting highlights online. If you got out there, it was a gorgeous day in Athens. I thought that I saw a lot of good things. Now, there were some concerns, and we talked about all of this on Riding Home, but I'm gonna go a little bit deeper into the things that I saw. This video is about the things that I liked, the things that I really liked about what I saw with the Georgia Bulldogs on Saturday. The first person I want to talk about is Chauncey Bowens. Part of it is because I feel slightly vindicated. I've been talking about Chauncey Bowens a little bit here over the last few weeks. Nate Frazier is great. Nate Frazier is RB1. That is clear, and he's got much more experience than anybody else on this Georgia football team in terms of carries and big moments. I don't think that it's not because I think he lacks talent. I think he's a very talented football player. But I don't think that the plan is for Nate Frazier to be the next DeAndre Swift, who is someone that he gets compared to a lot. Part of that is because of the eye test, and people like to say that he looks, like him in terms of cutting and speed. But I don't think I don't think the goal is for Nate Frazier to be a 1,000-yard back. If that happens, it happens, and I'm wrong. But I think that Georgia's staff wants this to be a committee-style running back room, keep the legs fresh, and get different guys reps. Chauncey Bowens looked good when he got the ball yesterday. The numbers, Georgia didn't get the ball to the running backs that much because this day is more about airing it out, and it's one of the things I'm going to talk about next. But Chauncey Bowens, 5 carries for 38 yards, 7.6 yards per carry. He was by far the most efficient running back for Georgia yesterday. And that was going against the first-team defense. That's another thing to note. This was against the starting defense. He had a 12-yard carry. He had a really nice catch that went for about 20 to 30 yards that got called back due to a holding penalty, so that wasn't on him, and it was an unnecessary hold. He hurdled a guy on one play. He dropped a player. I think he juked Terrell Foster out, got him on the ground. Terrell Foster got a lot of reps with that first-team defense. But Bowens looked good. He looked capable. He looked shifty. He looked fast. He looked powerful. He looked like a running back that they can rely on to give carries. He got some carries last year, I think about 16 last season. A little bit of garbage time there towards the end of the year while Trevor Etienne was hurt, and they wanted someone in there to get after it after Nate Frazier. But Frazier's clearly RB1, but I think that Bowens could develop into an RB2, or at the very least is going to contribute to this rotation. You know what you get out of Cash Jones. You get a gamer, and you get a guy that is a really, really good receiving back. He's going to get in there. He's going to get his touches. Dwight Phillips Jr., I think they have a gadget player so far, someone that could develop, but to me, a little bit of a gadget player. And then another running back, Bo Walker, the true freshman that got a lot of buzz during spring practice. I told you, I didn't get to see too much of practice, so I didn't get to see much of him. But now I got to see it, and I get it. I get what the buzz was about. Doesn't have true top-end speed, but shifty, built low to the ground. I think it was Cash Jones I believe it was Cash Jones that compared him a little bit to Dejan Edwards to kind of get that out of him. He had a nice, I believe, 24-yard carry. Let me confirm that. Yes, 24, no. He had a 30-yard carry. It was even more than what I thought. So he showed ability, and he showed, if called upon, he can make some plays. So I think Georgia's running back room, to me, should be better than it was a year ago. There's going to be a lot of shoulds here. Next, we will stick to the offensive side of the football. Look at this GDay. All you have to do is look at the numbers. What's the plan? The plan is to pass the ball, to air it out. Looks like Georgia ran 44 times yesterday, and they threw it 88 times. So this was about getting the quarterbacks, getting the receivers, working on the passing offense. And Gunnar Stockton was 17 for 34. You don't love that. Some of those were throwaways. 309 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Puglisi, 20 for 46 on the black team, 172 yards, a touchdown, interception. Puglisi was 3 for 3, 52 yards, and a touchdown when he played for the red team offense, which was first team. Probably should have explained that earlier. But they aired it out. And for the most part, the deep balls looked pretty good. Gunnar Stockton was pretty accurate on deep balls. He missed a couple, and that's going to happen. It's something that, you worry about a little bit. Guys miss deep balls. Carson Beck certainly missed a lot, probably too many, but the Georgia receivers drop balls. The people dropping passes yesterday were freshmen. Freshmen that are probably not going to get out there much. Taylor Taylor, either Barber dropped a pass, Elias Williams dropped a touchdown. So it was the younger guys that were kind of dealing with drops, but the passing offense has potential, and that's kind of what my next point is, the things that I like that I saw. Georgia's not without weapons. Last year, that was a problem. Arian Smith turned out to be kind of unreliable. Dominic Lovett turned out to be unreliable. Dylan Bell didn't have the year that we thought he was going to. This is an opportunity for him to bounce back. Colby Young obviously suspended. Ra Thomas kicked off the team. Colby Young's back, and he looks like what people want him to be. A guy that can go up and get the football on fade routes, can go up and win 50-50 balls, can be a red zone threat. That's what he looked like yesterday. His final numbers, I believe, were... Why are they not putting his numbers up here? That was ridiculous. He had a touchdown, so there's that. And he almost had a second touchdown. He's someone that they wanted to get the ball to. We didn't see too much of Noah Thomas. Didn't have a catch, dealing with a shoulder injury. Zachariah Branch, dealing with a hamstring injury, still made a really nice play on an underthrown ball by Gunnar Stockton. And also, he showed some serious ability in the return game. Sokovie White made a really great catch and then made another great catch for a touchdown. He played for both teams, and he was more effective with the first-team offense against the first-team defense. Behind Delp and Lawson Lucky, Jaden Riddell got a touch, and he looked like he had some real speed at the tight end position. Georgia's got a lot of weapons, and someone that got a little bit of buzz during spring and showed it off, Jeremy Bell, a walk-on, a guy out there making plays, winning on fade routes, scored a touchdown, a beautiful play from Gunnar Stockton to Jeremy Bell. Georgia has weapons. London Humphreys balled out. London Humphreys played with both the first team and the second team offenses. He dominated when he was on the second team offense, 4 catches for 77 yards, 2 touchdowns. And look, this wasn't Georgia's real offense. They're going to run the ball more. They're going to run with Gunnar Stockton, and you couldn't really see that. But I think that it's definitely promising when you see there are a ton of weapons, and there was a lack of them last year that they trusted. They'll have time to figure out. Not all of these guys are going to ball out, but they're going to figure out, is Sokovie White going to be a big part of this thing? Is Jaden Riddell going to get in there a lot? Is Colby Young going to be the go-to? I don't know who it is. Targets-wise, Dylan Bell was number 1, and that's not super surprising. He's been in the system for a lot. But I think it is promising. And then, on the other side of it, it's going to sound a little counterproductive, but I liked what I saw from the secondary. I definitely liked what I saw from the secondary. They won the first half. Now, got torched on some plays in the second half, but in the first half, they shut down Georgia's passing game. And Daniel Harris looked really good. I know that's not what people want to hear, but it was my perspective yesterday that he is clearly the leader to be the starter opposite of Dalen Everett. He was with the first-team defense almost the entire time, played with the second-team defense at the end, while Ellis Robinson and DeMello Jones rotated next to him, with Dalen Everett not playing yesterday. Ellis Robinson played with twos more than DeMello Jones did. I don't know if that means they wanted him to get more reps or if DeMello Jones is higher on the depth chart, but out of those 3 guys, Daniel Harris made the most plays, and he had an interception. He made a couple pass breakups. I thought he looked good. They've got depth there too. When you think about Dalen Everett being out, that helped develop the depth with Ellis Robinson and DeMello Jones. At safety, KJ Bolden looks like what we thought he was. A very fast, potential All-American. I mean, the way he flies up to the ball in the run game on screen passes, he snuffs that out. He is so fast. That's a promising thing for Georgia. But I think that Janelle Aguero has a hold on the secondary, on the star spot. Looks like it's between Corey Thomas and Chris Peel for one of the starting safety spots at the moment. That could change, but I liked what I saw of the secondary, even though Georgia started really airing it out in the second half. Linebackers look great. I'll wrap it up there. Justin Williams in reserve time looked great. Raylan Wilson and C.J. Allen fly over the field. They're just so good there at that spot. It's one you really don't worry about. Enjoy the Masters today. Those were the things I really, really liked at GDay. I'll talk more about GDay the rest of this week, but those are the things I really, really liked. I'll talk about things I didn't like next. Thanks for watching.